Hello and welcome back to our next Blood Bowl 2 preparation video, if you want to call it that. As I've announced over the last few weeks, I wanted to quickly address my plans concerning Blood Bowl until the Legendary Edition hits, and what I'm going to do once the Legendary Edition hits, or what my plans are at least for right now. So as we all know, right now we have three teams in the rotation. We have Bretonnian, we have Humans, and then we have Nurgle. The Bretonnian team is actually approaching the end of their 25 match cycle that I've set as my goal. I was said in the beginning that I'm going to keep it flexible and just see how it goes and how much I like the team and stuff like that. And they are the first ones to go out in this case, basically. So right now, my plan is to, once we hit the 25 matches with the Bretonnian team, that I'm going to stop with the Bretonnian team for now. I like the team good enough, but they're not among my favorites, so I don't really feel the pressing urge to continue with them. For now, I'd like to revisit them later because the team is pretty cool with all the stat ups that we have, and it plays interesting, and I like the team. But I just don't like it enough to keep it going longer than the 25 matches right now. So that's going to go out. And so what I've been thinking about, because I've been a bit unhappy with the 3-team rotation. It just leads to teams developing slower because you have to sometimes wait a week and a half between matches. So for now, there will not be a new vote to include a new third team. Instead, we are going to keep it at 2 teams. So there will always be a Human and a Nurgle match, assuming nothing like an early concede happens where I'm gonna go for another match of the same thing. So yeah, that's pretty much the plan. So we're gonna stick with Humans as well as Nurgle. I like the Human team more than the Bretonnian team, I have to be honest. They both are fun, but I can work with the Humans a bit better overall, even though I'm performing better with the Bretonnians, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah, so that is it basically for my plans. I'm not sure if there is a release date for the Legendary Edition yet. As far as I'm aware, there isn't, but I haven't checked in a while. What I know is that they're still aiming for late summer, and that we have the closed beta. If you follow Knorr or the Sage, they played the beta already on Twitch and released some videos, which is pretty cool. So you got a first look at all the teams that are going to come in there, or most of the teams that are going to come in there. And I know that there is supposed to be an open beta, but I'm not quite sure when that's going to start. I think fairly soon. But once the beta is done, they will announce it. I assume it's going to come out in, I don't know, a month or 2, maybe 3 at the latest. If they are aiming for late summer, it shouldn't be 3 months. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to play out. And at that point, I have to make a decision, because there are 3 teams in the Legendary Edition that I want to play. That I definitely want to play. 2 of which I will definitely play. So the 3 teams I'm interested in is, first of all, Underworld. I like Underworld. It's Skaven meets goblins with a troll, and everybody can mutate. It's a half stunty team because you have a lot of goblins, and then you have the Skaven players who are Armor 7 aside from the Blitzers, and the Warpstone troll, which is pretty cool. They're not an easy team, I think, but they can be really powerful if you can get them built up. And I just like the idea of the team. I've never been good with them. The first time I played them in a league, I lost every single match, I think, in the first season. But I came in first or second in the second season once I got a few skills in. So I just want to learn them again and be better with them than I was previously. I also like the aesthetic of the team quite a bit. They look awesome, and I'm going to play them at some point. And yeah. So the next one is the team that I'm most looking forward to, which is Pro Elves, or Elf Union. I'm not sure how they're going to be called here. The team is just called Elves or Pro Elves in the old Blood Bowl. In the new Blood Bowl version that was released in late 2016, they renamed the team to Elf Union. So I'm not sure how they're going to be named here. Yeah, but I just love that team. They're my favorite Elf team, and I will play them. They're really good, really good. They can have, I mean, if you don't know them, their blitzers start with block and sidestep, which is nice, so they only need dodge to be highly annoying already. Their catchers all start with Nerves of Steel, which is a double skill for all of them, and they can have up to 4 catchers. So they always catch a ball on the 2+, and doesn't the tackle zones don't matter, all that stuff. I mean, there are skills that influence. I think disturbing presence still makes that difficult. Was it disturbing presence? I think so. Yeah, but I just like them. They are brittle because they're mostly armor value 7, aside from the blitzers, I believe. But they're really good. I like the team, and I want to play them. And the last team, which is Kislev, or Slan, depending on how you want to look at it. Because the Slan team was never really officially, I think, supported in that way, and the Games Workshop doesn't like the Slan. They're space frogs, basically. which is silly, even for Blood Bowl standards. There were never any miniatures for them, or at least officially, so they use this chance to reskin them as Kislev now, something along those lines. So they are circus acrobats and all that stuff, which still means the team is gonna come with now a bear instead of a Croxigore, because they used to have the Croxigore. It's the same it's a different model, but the same skills. And I think they just renamed the prehensile tail to prehensile chain, because he's got a chain and he doesn't have a tail that's prehensile. But it's the same skill as prehensile tail. And then every other player, they have linemen, catchers, and blitzers, which I'm going to get into once we play the team actually. All have very long legs and leap. So everybody in the team leaps on a 3+, except for the catchers, they leap on a 2+, since they have agility 4+, very long legs. So the team is ridiculously mobile, but it's also risky to use the leap because you have a lot of it, but it's still only a 3+ for most players, so there are some risks with that. But those are the 3 teams I'm looking forward to the most. And then through the Legendary Edition, also going to come in are a few fun teams, if you want to call them that. Fun/stunty. We've got the Ogres, we've got Goblins, we've got Halflings. And then we also have 2 normal teams left. Well, vampires aren't really a normal team. They could also be categorized as fun team, but you can perform well with them. I've seen it done. I've never played them myself that much, but they look cool. And Amazons, which are kind of a counterpoint to Norse, because on Amazons they all have armor value 7 as well, but instead of block they all start with dodge, and they have 4 players that start with block and dodge, so they are extremely strong in low team value areas, but in higher areas they fall off a little bit. Yeah, so those are the teams, which right now leads me to how I want to tackle that once we get to the Legendary Edition. So far I've handled it all with votes and letting you guys decide, but I think in this case with the Legendary Edition, right now I'm trying to decide between 2 options. The one is I choose all the teams myself, which means you guys have to sit it out and have to accept that I'm going to choose my own teams for a change. If we go for 2 teams, those 2 teams would be Pro Elves and Underworld, and I'm going to get to Kislev later. What I'm also trying to do is maybe I need to start at another point, I think. So, as you all know, I've played in the Rebel League and I played in my own league, the Rekev League. And I dropped out of both of them because I didn't have time anymore. I am considering if I can make the time to get back into the Rekev League. So my own, which would be 1 match every 2 weeks. That should be doable, and I'm trying to get in there at the beginning of the next season again. They're a little bit over the middle right now, I think. But the question there is, what do we do? I might go back to my Wood Elves for 1 season, because I assume that the next season would start before the release of the Legendary Edition. And afterwards I would change, possibly to Kislev, for example. But I'm not sure there yet. And then as well, there was a comment a while ago that maybe I could start to see about streaming, because I was considering what I could stream. And there was a question again if I would consider doing Champion League matches, and that would only work if I would live stream them, I think, because then I can get a few in a row in and stuff like that, and maybe get that going. So there could be regular new matches coming in through that. And the last thing is that if you watch my More Time series, I'm right now considering what to do about More Time once I finish with the current thing that I'm doing. So that might lead to me not doing More Time anymore, and maybe, I'm not sure about that, because can't quite say yet, because Blood Bowl matches take some time and it's a little bit of a different time management. Maybe I could go up to 3 matches permanently a week on Blood Bowl, so that way we would have 3 teams again. So I'd like your guys' input here, what you would like to see. Because I can't do all of this. There is going to be something that's going to have to give, and you guys can help me decide, though, what it is going to be. So right now, I could choose 2 teams myself, which in this case means once the Legendary Edition hits, I'm going to stop the humans and the Nurgle team. I know we won't be that far with the Nurgle team at that point, but they're going to be in the rotation. They might be the first ones to get picked back up, but I want to get into the Legendary Edition teams because there are a few of my favorite teams among those, and I want to play them. It's simple as that, and I hope you can all understand and support me in that decision. But what I could also be talked into is that I just choose one team and that you guys choose the other, so that I get the will on the team that I want to play the most, which in that case probably would be Pro Elf, since they're still my favorite team and not Underworld. But you guys get to choose again what my second team, or possibly second and third and something like that, team would be. But here I am reliant on your guys' input. So what would you prefer? What would you like to see? So just let me know, because this is basically the gist of it. So let's recap again. Once Bretonnians get their 25 matches in, I'm going to stop with them and I'm going to do 1 Nurgle and 1 human match each until we hit Legendary Edition. Assuming the human team doesn't hit 25 matches before, then I'll have to decide what to do about that. And once the Legendary Edition hits, I'm going to reset and go with fresh teams. And then the question is, do I choose all of them myself? Do we see if we can incorporate some Champion League at that point, maybe with one of the new teams as well? Can we get up to 3 teams? And just let me know what you guys think, or 3 days I meant. Just let me know what you think, what you would like to see, which teams you would prefer. I'm not going to go for a vote yet or anything. First of all, I'm just looking for feedback and input, and just let me know which teams you would like to see. Old ones as well as new, if you would like to see one of the old teams come back, because I've said again multiple times that I'm gonna bring Lizardman and Skaven back into the rotation to get voted on so that we could play them again. But with the Legendary Edition dropping, I'm gonna delay that again, because there's just so much new stuff to play, and there's my favorite teams in there. I want to play them, so you guys have to live with that, because that's not going to change, but you can still influence what it is going to be exactly, because as long as I get to play at least one of the teams that I want to play, I'm probably okay, and I'm going to get to the other ones sooner or later, because, I mean, I'm not going anywhere, so there's no rush, basically. Yeah, so I've talked and talked, and now it's time for you to write and write, hopefully. So, yeah, just let me know what you guys think, what you would prefer. I really am looking for input here, so let me have it. But for now, yeah, this is where we're going to end the episode or the video right now. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative, and yeah, see you all soon. Bye!